Today's news. IRFS unveils preliminary comments on election results. Opposition does not recognise parliamentary election results. Shamaki resident blames relatives for brother's death. 6 candidates running in Goyçay Agdaş election hold press conference. Elections were democratic, claims Faraj Guliyev. The results of Azerbaijan's November 7th parliamentary elections do not accurately reflect the political will of the people, said IRFS chairman Emin Hüseynov in a press conference on the parliamentary election results. IRFS employee Rasul Jafarov spoke about the pre-election conditions. He reported that the elections were conducted in an undemocratic climate, that journalists were prevented from carrying out their professional duties, and that multiple violations had occurred during the voting. These violations could affect the voting results, he said. Based on pre-election monitoring, Jafarov reported that freedom of expression in Azerbaijan is subject to severe restrictions, that freedom of assembly is neither guaranteed nor protected, and that unsanctioned political rallies have been forcibly broken up. He added that there have been very few radio or television programs focusing on the elections during the pre-election period or the campaign itself, that political parties running in the elections did not receive equal media coverage, that ruling YAP party chairman, President Ilham Aliyev, was covered positively and extensively, and that state TV channels had conducted a smear campaign against the opposition. IRFS employee Idris Abbasov spoke about the serious legal violations committed on voting day. He mentioned, among other things, the problem of single voters casting multiple votes, ballot stuffing, and the expulsion of registered observers out of voting stations. In light of the mass violations on voting day, IRFS chairman Emin Hüseynov unveiled IRFS's recommendations to the government. IRFS calls upon the Azerbaijani government to investigate the legal violations that occurred during the voting, to bring perpetrators to criminal responsibility, to annul the results of constituencies where serious violations occurred, and to immediately release the imprisoned journalists and bloggers, and to ensure freedom of assembly for all. Today, at a press conference at the Musavat Party headquarters, a group of opposition parties signed a statement about the election results. Party leaders declared the parliamentary elections as neither free nor democratic nor transparent. They demand the annulment of these results and that the government hold new elections. Musavat leader Iza Gambar said that the parliament formed on the basis of these results would be illegitimate from its very inception. Azerbaijan Popular Front Party chairman Ali Karimli described these elections as the most fraudulent and least attended in Azerbaijani history. Karimli said that it was high time to start a national movement for democracy building in Azerbaijan. The Great Azerbaijan Party chairman Elshad Musayev said that these elections will go down in history as fraudulent. National Independence Party Secretary General Arzukan Alizadeh said that he did not recognize the results of these elections. Popular Party chairman Giyas Sadigov expressed his party's demand for the annulment of these results. Political scientist Ilgar Mammadov blamed the ruling regime for excluding any real secular opposition from state management. At the end of the press conference, the parties announced their joint statement. This document says that they do not recognize the results of these parliamentary elections and that the elections do not reflect the political will of citizens. The parties demand free, democratic elections. This document is open for signing by all political parties and candidates.
Samahi region's Gushchu village resident Alishan Zulfugarov believes his brother Shirvan Zulfugarov was killed by poisoning. He was reportedly poisoned by his brother's wife, Dilara, on June 20th. Alishan Zulfugarov explained in a press conference today in the IRFS press center. In a secret conversation with the relatives, Dilara admitted that she did it with the aim that all the household would remain in the disposal of her husband, Zulfugarov said, and added that the law enforcement agencies ignored the case. Zulfugarov said that he had repeatedly appealed to the prosecutor's office, the National Security Ministry, and the Presidential Administration, but he has received no response. Samahi Regional's prosecutor, Chief Assistant Sahib Abdulrahmanov, told Objective TV that the appeals have been considered in the prosecutor's office. According to the prosecutor, the law enforcement agencies were ready for exhumation, but the parents and relatives of Shirvan Zulfugarov opposed. According to the prosecutor Abdulrahmanov, That is why the investigation of the complaint was not possible. The elections in Goychay-Agdash election constituency number 89 were falsified in favor of the ruling Yeni Azerbaijan party candidate. Shamshadin Hajiev, the Azerbaijan State Economic University rector, stated that 6 parliamentary candidates were running in election constituency number 89. According to parliamentary candidate Vidadi Iskandarov, repeat voting by the same person, pressure and direct physical violence were used against independent and oppositional observers. Some people were appointed in the polling stations who ordered the election to vote for ruling party candidates. Police and sportsmen have beaten our observers, said Azerbaijani Popular Front Party parliamentary candidate Samid Mamadov. Another Azerbaijan Popular Front Party parliamentary candidate Sanubar Isayeva confirmed the repeat voting and said that voters faced pressures as well. Ruling YAP party member Ragiba Rahimova said that one person voted instead of several persons. She also mentioned that a letter was sent to the election constituency regarding her dismissal from the party, as she had put forward her candidacy independently. The representative of pro-governmental Democratic World Party, Samir Hurshudov, said the local executives and municipality representatives interfered in the elections. He showed the protocols compiled by the observers on voting results. According to Khurshudov, the data does not coincide with the officially disseminated data. The observers were dismissed in most polling stations, said Neman Asgarov, the representative of Musavat party candidate Ilgar Yusifov. Parliamentary candidate Vidadi Iskandarov described facts that suggested falsification. Iskandarov demonstrated approximately 20 temporary identification cards. The cards were filled on somebody's behalf and lacked photos and included white blanks. These ID cards were found in Arab Jalbirli village, precinct number 15. He also demonstrated numerous false ballot papers marked in favor of Shamsadin Hajiev. Faraj Guliev, the winning parliamentary candidate in the Sarakhani constituency number 31, held a press conference today on the results of the November 7th parliamentary elections. I cannot comment on other election constituencies, but the elections in our constituency were held in accordance with democratic standard, and I won. I have all the relevant protocols proving it, claimed Guliev. Azerbaijan Popular Front Party chairman Ali Kerimli won only in 8 of the election precincts. There were minor problems in some election precincts. However, as a whole, the elections in our constituency were held in a democratic manner, Guliev noted. He accused observers affiliated with Ali Kerimli of trying to hinder the election process. Guliev also accused Azerbaijan Popular Front Party and Musavat parties of monopolizing the opposition and preventing youth participation in the political scene.